Oh, turn the recorder on.
Thank you. Okay. If you look at these two candle bodies here, um, what you'll notice that the bodies are roughly the same size. Now, in the stock world, what the general thinking would be, usually there'd be three of these. The general thinking is that someone's trying to dump like 100,000 shares of something, but they know if they put a 100,000 share position out there, all the major players will know that
Yeah.
which one of the five or six guys in the world has that kind of clout, and they'll know who it is, and they may use it, let's say, to your disadvantage. So what they'll do is they'll put 33, and then wait and see, and then add another 33, then wait and see, then add another 33.
Yeah.
Get you follow me? Because they're trying to dump a large number of lots or
Yeah.
a large number of shares, let's say. That's one theory. Okay, I can't prove or disprove
No,
it.
that happens in stocks and shares, no question.
Okay, yeah. So well, thanks for that because it's something I haven't done my due diligence on, but I've seen it written about so many times that I have to believe it's got some validity to it. Anytime you
On
see
the
these two,
hourly charts?
excuse me.
On the hourly charts?
Well, it could be on pretty much any time frame. I picked the hourly because I see it more often on the hourly.
I see.
But it could be whatever time frame they're trading, and most of the time those types of traders are trading the higher time frames anyway. All right. So what happens is, I was explaining why I don't trade inside this pocket here. Let me go back down to like a 5 minute chart. So what happens is if you wanted to dump a large number of shares, and I'll just use the stock terminology for it, you wouldn't want to dump them in this block of time right in here because there may not be anyone there
Yeah, no one has taken them.
right, exactly. So now when you get in here, now you have enough people in the market where you can, you could drop a large amount on the table because it more than likely will be someone there to pick up that order.
Yeah.
So that's why I block out these. Like I said, I know that this is when the liquidity comes in, and liquidity doesn't give you a clue as to direction. Just take that on face value. There are some indicators that may give you a little bit of a heads up, but for the most part, just assume that this is when all the money starts to come into the market. You still don't know the direction yet. Okay, so that's why I stay out of that dead man zone, I call it. And you do often see a few moves here or there because the other thing that happens is that the regular business of forex has to take place too, where a car manufacturer's got to buy all of his lug nuts from a Japanese firm, so they have to, do that exchange and all that. So there's still the regular business of forex that has to go on, and international corporations doing business with each other and all that.
That's something I haven't really, I mean, I heard you talk about it a little bit before, but I haven't really considered it that much. And is there any figures as far as what percentage of the market that might be on an average day?
Um, I think if you go to forex magnets and dig around on some of their archives, you can find that data. I've seen it before. I've seen
Yeah,
it a
I
number of
saw, I
times. It
saw a
might even be
website
in one of my
recently that had the
presentations.
liquidity on it.
What's that?
I said I saw a website recently. I don't remember what it was that showed the liquidity. That's why I wouldn't trade Asia because it's like 11 or 12% of the total liquidity, whereas London is massive and then New York is massive again. But
Right.
London by far has the most.
Yeah, the key with Asia, it used to be. Right now it's the summer. It may not hold as well, but usually Asia will put in a high and low. Let me change that color. Usually Asia will put in a high and low that will play a dominant role in uh, the next day's price movement.
Yeah, because a lot of people trade the breakout box, don't they, for
Well,
that?
yeah, you see the breakout here, bounce, bounce, bounce. Look at the shelf it made,
Mm,
and then took off, and that was that particular day, and stayed
yeah.
above it the whole day. Let me just erase these. Let's go back to another day. Delete. Delete. Let's go back to the day before here, and we'll do the same thing here and here. And again, you see here it became more of a ceiling. We had a little bit of a bump above on a 15-minute chart. This is just a one candle up and one candle out. See that right there?
Yeah, the nothing day really.
Yeah, but the day it chopped inside here for the most part.
Yeah.
So this should actually go up here. So that was the general thinking. A lot of times people would want to trade the break above this high, above that low. But during the summer, that may not necessarily be the norm because this is when the market the ranges are going to get tight here for a while. I want to look at the pairs, and let me. I'll stay with this for the moment. So I'm looking at the pairs that have the highest volatility, and that would be Euro New Zealand, Euro CAD, Euro Aussie. Let me just get my
Pound New Zealand, that's the biggest.
Yeah, Pound New Zealand. And I have got to clean this desk off. I found my Iraqi dinars someone gave me as a gift. Now we don't speak to each other anymore. There was this whole thing about Iraq was going to revalue its dinar.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, you're going to get like 1,000 American dollars for every one Iraqi dollar once it revalues. And people were buying literally skids of Iraqi dinars. And there are 2 or 3 private conference call lines that you can get on, and there are these guys that with all these weird nicknames that claim they know the inside information when it's going to happen and blah blah blah. And so I did a little bit of research, came back and told him back in February that it will not happen in 2000. I'm sorry, no, I told him last February. I said nothing's going to happen in 2014. It is not going to happen. They are not going to revalue their dinar. Save your money. And he had been listening. He'd been drinking the Kool-Aid, I guess you could say. He just didn't want to hear it. You don't know. You're new to this and blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, go ahead. And sure enough, nothing happened. I called him up and said, hey, how's that dinar thing going? And anyway, so he gave me...
And Lou, when eventually it does, when or if eventually it does happen, it'll be a completely different type of dinar anyway, and the old one won't be valid.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, among other things. Yeah, among other things. But this guy gave me a gift of I don't know how many it is, but it's supposed to be like $100,000 once they devalue it. I'm not going to dig it out of the envelope, but
Lou, why would somebody think that you would get for each one of their currency, you would get more of our U.S. dollars? Wouldn't it be the reverse?
No, because what they're claiming is that once Iraqi revalues its dinar and apparently ties it to oil somehow, that the value of the Iraqi dinar is going to rise dramatically because it'll be in high demand. People will want dinars because they may have to buy oil in dinars.
Right. So even with the oil markets now, that's obviously being corrected. They still believe that flavor.
Well, yeah, they still believe it, and I haven't gone on that conference call in a year, but I know it's still active. And I just heard from the bank and blah blah, and they come up with all these conspiracy theories and blaming Obama and all kinds of nonsense, and they just don't get it. Now, the backside of that is that there are a couple of companies that will sell you all the dinars you can carry. And I don't have the name of that. I don't want to steer anybody in the wrong direction, but where is it? Oh, sterlingcurrencygroup.com. And you can buy all the dinars you want there.
This has been going on for about 10 years, Lou.
What's that?
The dinar thing. A friend of mine bought some about 8 years ago. kind of, $1,000 worth of dinars because he drank the same Kool-Aid. I mean, it's just somebody's brilliant scam.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
A lot of them out there.
people hear what they want to hear. Whether it makes any sense or not. I mean, if you're
A
talking
lot of gullible people out there.
if you're talking to a total rube about, finances, I mean, you can tell them pretty much anything. And if it's, you're going to make 6 times or 10 times or 100 times, oh yeah, I'll get on board here. So, anyways, yeah. So it's been going on for a while.
Yeah,
So,
and the other thing that I guess with this whole dinar thing is, how do you know you're not getting counterfeit dinars when you go to that website and buy them? Yeah, you don't know.
uh,
That's the other awkward part about it. You could be buying a skid load of fake ass dinars and now you're stuck.
Yep.
So anyway, but I like investigating stuff. That's why, like, I don't like to get into too many heavy political debates with people, because I actually do my research, and that just frustrates them, because I ask them, well, where'd you get your information? Where can I go and double check what you're telling me? And they got nothing. And I'll go look and read it and double check it. We had a whole thing here with the a football player, Tom Brady, letting the air out of the footballs to
Oh
make
yeah,
it
yeah.
easier to catch. So everyone's got an opinion, and when they finally released the Wells report, I downloaded it and read it. And to be honest, he was so fucking guilty. I mean, and the NFL, they bent over backwards. I mean, backwards, to the point of like being a contortionist, to give him an opportunity to wiggle his way out of it, and he wouldn't take it. You know what I mean? So the latest thing was, now when it got down to the wire, about they found some information on text messages that clearly would show that he knew something about it. And then when the day came, he destroyed his phone. Okay, saying, oh, it didn't work anymore, and I always destroy my phones, but then when they check the link, it's
He literally destroyed the phone, like, conveniently, before the
yeah,
investigators knocked on his door to say
right,
what happened.
right. And then
He
like
doesn't have a phone physically to say, oh, here's the destroyed, broken phone.
right. So he tried to get around that by showing up with this massive spreadsheet that shows all the phone numbers that either called him or he called. You got me? But nothing in detail about what was said on the calls, and nothing with the text messages. So you can show me, I mean, gee, I called my equipment manager 40 times in a month, but that doesn't give you any indication as to what was said. Then they interviewed the equipment manager, the guy that was supposedly let the air out of the balls, and they were happy with what he said, and they said, okay, you can go. Then a couple of weeks later, they found out that there were text messages between him and Tom Brady. So then they said, listen, we want to call you back in and ask you about these text messages, because on a couple of them, the guy, his nickname was the Deflator. Yeah. And then, on top of that, in one of the text messages, he says, well, I haven't gone to ESPN yet. So now they said, well, look, we want to call him back in for more questionings. Now get this, the team would not let the investigator talk to this equipment manager. The team blocked it. Okay. So that was another thing that was unfortunately suspicious. Then when it came down to look at Tom Brady's phone, the investigator said, look, you and your agent go into a room here at the NFL office. You and him only go into a room and look over the text messages, and your agent will pull off all the messages that pertain to this case, and I'll trust that your agent gave me all the proper data.
Oh.
He turned that down.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, they really bent way over backwards.
Yeah. Well, he has
And
got hit in the head a lot,
what's that?
He has got hit in the head a lot,
Yeah, well, I mean, when you see how far backwards they tried to give him a way out and still make the NFL look good, and he thumbed their nose at him. I mean, just unbelievable stuff. And then all the nonsense about the scientific data and blah, 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 and the temperature in the ballroom and all this bullshit. And yet only the balls on that team were deflated at the end of the game. Only theirs. No one else in the whole NFL had that happen. Because they check the inflation of the ball before and after the games usually. So it's what are you gonna do? So I've narrowed down the and then we have this new thing now with this deal with Iran, and one political party saying, oh, it's the worst deal in the world. It's like you're going to march the Iranian people into the ovens of Hitler and all this other nonsense.
Oh, God,
And
sorry.
half the politicians that are knocking it admitted they haven't read it. And it's only 150 pages.
Wow.
And it's not like they have a job where they got to go to work and make widgets and shit, Your job is to go and sit behind your desk. So they've got the time to actually sit and read the damn thing, haven't read it. But just because it was a Democratic idea, it automatically is no good. And then when you read it, which yours truly did, what they did is, and this is so smart, the one political party is saying, well, look, why are you going to give these guys 24 hours warning when we're coming to do an investigation, or an inspection, I should say? If this is going to be a good deal, we should be able to go in any moment we want, at any place we want, instantly, which has a good point and a not so good point. What I don't think they tend to realize, if we tell them we're coming to investigate a place in 24 days, we now have 24 days behind the scenes to watch where all the movement is happening. Where are trucks suddenly coming in and out of? Where is something changing all of a sudden? And they'll telegraph to us where they're doing the dirt, which is the funny thing. They just don't think that far ahead. Or maybe they do, but don't want the public to think about it. So it's just funny. And then in order to enrich uranium, there are so many other steps that have to be involved. They don't have to go to the uranium facility, let's say. There are 3 or 4 steps that have to happen beforehand, and they have full access to inspect those parts of it. You get what I'm saying? Like baking a cake. You can't bake the cake without the flour. Well, we're not allowed to go into the bakery unless we have 24 days notice. But we can damn sure go and visit the flour manufacturer anytime we want. So there's so many other ways that they could get the same thing done. It's just nonsense how they do this whole thing over here. But enough of that. I try not to get politics involved in what we're doing. But
What we need is a benevolent despot.
okay, explain that term.
Okay. Well, in other words, somebody that's just, he's basically the king, but he's also benevolent. So of course then that gets down to just what is his opinion.
You're talking about someone with common sense.
Well, yeah.
That ain't going to happen in American politics.
Not in this next couple of decades.
No,
Well, you
not
got
at all.
Donald Trump now. What's the matter?
What was that?
I said you got Donald Trump now, haven't you? What's the matter?
Oh, please. Don't even start with him. They say an empty barrel makes the most noise. Every time they try to ask him a specific question, give me a specific answer on this, like how many, when, where, who, what, why, he dodges and ducks and goes right to his talking points. He won't give you a straight answer on anything.
No politician ever answers a question.
Well, no, the good ones do. I have something called a Cooper scale, and this is how I measure politicians. So if they answer the question with a complete answer and with details, they get 2 points. If they give you half an answer and then go off on something else, they get 1 point. If they don't answer the question, or they say, I don't know, or I have to go back and ask my people, they get 0. If they don't answer the question and go immediately to their talking points, like you ask them about apples, they go to oranges. That's -1. If they don't answer the question and attack the questioner, that's -2. It's a very simple scale, and you can tell who the bullshitters are from the non-bullshitters. 90% of the politicians are bullshitters. You got a couple that are fairly honest. But on that scale, listen to how they answer questions and use that scale, and you'll see the bullshit will rise to the top every single time.
You'd have a field day if you watched our parliament then.
Well, I can imagine. Yeah, well, you know, they selectively show us clips here, as you know. We're not going to see the best of the best. It's always going to be the wacko.
I love watching the English Parliament. I mean, it's to me, it's just like watching Monty Python. So there you go.
Prime Minister's question time on a Wednesday is just unbelievable.
That sounds like a lot of fun, to be honest with you.
It is, yeah.
It's something they should do here. Now, what I'm going to do...
You won't answer the question, Lou, so there's no point. So.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so let's make this. I'm going to go with pound Aussie, euro Aussie. Is CAD up here too? Okay, I'll go pound CAD, euro CAD first. So pound CAD, euro CAD. Okay, and then pound Aussie. Where is it? Oh, there's pound Aussie, and then a euro Aussie. Euro Aussie. Okay. Chart window, and then BW clean. Who's making popcorn back there?
Yeah, I guess
and not sharing.
Yeah. Well, I do trade pullbacks. That's up to that. So I just bought some pound yen.
Oh, okay. We'll take a look at pound yen here in a minute. Let's zoom these in a bit. I would like to get an inverse pair. And I do have to connect with you, Andre, because I do need some help with a couple of things I'm working on. Let's make all of these 5-minute charts. Okay, what was that you said you bought was pound what?
Pound yen.
Let's throw pound yen up here. And you went long pound yen?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I can see that right here, yeah. And this is your doohickey there, right?
No.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
Yeah.
So that's the pullback.
Well, it is. And,
let me give you control.
Okay.
Okay, you got it.
All righty. Okay, so first off, I'm trading this on the 15-minute. Let's see where we got this stuff. And on the 15, I traded this. Okay, so what
indicators are you using?
None.
Okay.
What I call this, I have the daily high and low on here. That's all. So anyway, so I call this whole area from over here to down here just a big old range. In fact, it goes crazy.
It is, yes.
So then we had a breakout about an hour ago, and then it did pull back. Now there's some buyers here, obviously, on this candle. And then it just dipped below the 50, and that's when I noticed it.
When you say the 50 what?
93.50.
Okay, the psychological number.
Yeah.
No, I see it. I just wanted for everyone else's sake.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me get rid of this here. So, anyways, on this one I risked 12 pips. But anyway, so I'm just basically, this is a range breakout that I'm viewing in my eyes, so I figure it's worth a 12 pip risk. If this one decides to go ahead and take off, it's going to go, I mean, it could go like a pound yen goes. So
correct.
I'll risk 12 pips on it. If I'm wrong, I lose 12 pips.
All right. No, that's good. At least you've got a game plan. You've got it thought out. This pullback ended right in this general area here, which is about what I would have picked. Maybe a little bit higher. I would have picked this like up here, up in these highs.
Right.
So when that pullback happened, this is where I would have picked it to stop, which is what it did.
Pretty much, yeah. And you know what I've noticed, just my observation with the pound pairs, is if there is, you know, a shelf or support resistance like the line you drew here, then it'll usually go down, you know, 5, 10, 12 pips below that. And in fact, it did. It went down about 12 pips below there. So that's another reason why I liked it.
Okay. It's you know, it's well thought out, and that's all you can do is you know, think your trade through.
Yeah.
And
now I just prior to that I wasn't a pound dollar long, and that got stopped out, but I only have 10 pip stop on that one.
Okay. Let's take a look at pound dollar. Euro Aussie. And this has to be a pound CAD when I come back to it. Okay, so let's take a look at pound dollar. And you had a pound dollar long or short?
It was long.
And
so,
where was that? Same range too.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I was kind of viewing that the same way as a range kind of breakout, and but the thing was, this happened coming into the gap before the stocks opened, so it kept pulling back. That's what a lot of times that'll happen on a pair that is, you know, starting to move in one direction. During the gap time, it'll pull back until it hits stops or something. I don't know. And you know, it hit my stop.
Okay.
But I got in. Where did I get in? Well, I got in at the number was 14, so it was probably right about at this level here on. It was probably on this candle, one that I'm pointing at right here. It was probably on this candle, pullback.
Okay. Now, the one thing I do hear in what you're saying is that both entries had slightly different parameters. All right, the same general theme, but the entry itself had slightly different parameters. So the thing you need to be careful of is that of creating 8 or 9 different scenarios and not having one that you're going to stick with. You know what I mean? Because every time you open a chart, it'll be something different. So so you're thinking it through, which is a good thing. But I see that you had 2 different thinking processes on both trades. So my suggestion would be to ask yourself, what do I need to see to go long, and what do I need to see to go short? And actually lay that out in your mind, what you need to see. And here's a slingshot candle. So this next candle should go long. What do you need to see to go long, and what do you need to see to go short? And then draw it out, you know, like, you know, okay, well, I need to see this do this, and the other thing's got to do that. And that way you'll only trade based on your rules. Because otherwise we try to outthink the market, and what we're actually doing is outthinking ourselves, because the market doesn't know what we're thinking. Market could care less.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're actually outthinking ourselves. And that's why a lot of times, you know, you'll see me do something and I'll say, okay, and I'll actually draw it ahead of time. And more often than not, price would hit those levels that I drew out, not because I drew them, but because I ahead of time know what I would like to see ideally.
Yeah.
And it's always, you know, within a set of fixed rules for whatever that particular system is.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, and thanks. I appreciate that. What I'm not, what I didn't hear from that though was what were the differences between the 2 trades as far as what I said.
Well, go back to the first one, and that was pound yen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you said it was a pullback, and you were talking about these 3 candles here, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, the thing that I added in different was the 50, right? Is that
Right.
what you're, okay. Yeah, well, I mean, I saw that as in conjunction with, you know, the breakout pullback thing. And when I saw that and I saw the action, actually I saw the price action on the 5-minute chart where it hit that level of about 42 and just bam, somebody threw a whole freaking bunch of money in there at that point. I mean, it jumped like 10 pips just like that. So,
Well,
I
when
mean,
you,
you know,
well, the other
that,
thing
that
too. Oh, go ahead. Finish.
anyway, so that's the main difference. There wasn't, let's see, on the pound dollar, I didn't have a level. I mean, I was in between levels, which made it less of a desirable trade because I'm trading right here at the 14, and so with a 10 pip stop, that puts me at you know, about 56.04, which I'd much prefer to stop about 56.95. But so, you know, I mean, in a perfect world, maybe I would have waited for that, and had I would have gotten in the trade better. So yeah, so this is a good lesson for me. Thanks, Luke.
Okay. And as I said, when you trade naked, there is a lot of subjectivity that goes into it because you're not
Sure.
relying on indicators. You're not relying on a lot of outside stuff. You're relying on what you see on the chart and your own interpretation of it.
Hmm.
So, you know, if you can just narrow down your interpretation to a fixed set of this is what I need to see for a long trade, this is what I need to see for a short trade, that makes life a little easier.
Mm-hmm.
But both those charts have got some pretty much identical candles as well, haven't they?
Yeah, I was saying that. Well, because they're both pound, you know,
Yeah.
that will happen.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Was pound yen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are very, very similar. Um, all right, but that's good. It's good to hear how, you know, other um, people look at the same situation. So now let me close this. Let me pound yen is on the list too as one of the trades, well, as one of the pairs. And this should be a pound CAD.
As you said.
What was that?
Pound CAD, I think you said it was supposed to
Yeah,
be.
this should be a pound CAD. All right, and let me just get these all at about the same depth. Turn this off and make this a little bit smaller.
I'll tell you what, if the pound yen is the beast, the pound CAD is a widowmaker. That thing,
Yeah. Well,
that thing.
the thing, yeah, and you have to adjust your stops accordingly based on the daily range because these things,
And the lot size.
yeah, these things will take off in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
And
They can be headed in one direction. I mean, big time, and then, you know, they'll pull back 70 pips.
yeah, absolutely. Let me just so we're going to make all of these 1889s for the moment. Because this week I want to this week and probably early next week I want to focus on the smaller time frames with a couple of the other systems. I want to add another system as time goes on. Now, in looking at these, oh, pound Aussie was a monster last night. 380
Yeah,
pips
it went
last night.
up 100 pips. Unbelievable.
Shit. And I'm expecting. Well, I missed it.
Oh, sorry, no, that was Aussie dollar. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but the pound Aussie. Oh, do. Missed it.
What's your language, dude?
Yeah, it's a technical term.
Yeah.
I've been expecting about an 800 pip drop on the pound Aussie, pound CAD. Let me go out to a higher time frame.
You mean the Euro Aussie?
The
Man.
Aussie dollar had an interest rate announcement.
Yeah.
The Aussie dollar had an interest rate announcement today.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, and then look, we ended up. Look
Oh, yeah. But it didn't change. Oh, so that's good. Yeah, that's positive. But
but this is what I was waiting for. right here, because we and I'll explain what I was looking at. We went up to this high, and this became the dominant high right here. Then we had a fake out, and then on this next big high, this pullback, we never got anywhere near here. So I felt that we were going to crack this 89 and head short.
Hey, Lou,
And
how many pips is that fall off?
I don't even want to count it because I didn't get any of it.
It's a bunch plus
300.
Over 300.
That's 300 at 15 a pip?
No, pound Aussie doesn't play 15 a pip. You're thinking euro pound.
Yeah. It's about $8.
What's that?
About 8.
In fact, let me open this, and there's a site that I use that's kind of helpful. Oh, I got all the stuff in the way here you can't see. Let me go to the site. Pull this off, copy. Just let me mumble here a little bit. Oh, put it in there, paste, go. All right. Oh, okay. Oh, I got to call him back later. I'm working on a project with this guy. As you can see, I have an account here via a friend, a live account. But when you go to this website, you see what I'm saying? It says that if you're a U.S. resident, they don't want your business. And we were talking about Dodd-Frank the other day and how brokers outside the United States are not allowed to advertise for clients here. So if you're an American and you find your way to this site, this is very typical of the messages you'll get when you go here. So I just click, I am not a U.S. resident, which is kind of technically correct, but I don't want to get into that whole thing at the moment.
Okay.
All right.
You're from Mars, right?
Yeah, something like that. So what was that pair we were looking at?
Pound odd.
Pound Aussie, okay. There we go, pound Aussie. Leverage, well, in the US we got to go 50 to 1, so I'll drop that in. And volume, I'll make that one standard lot. Okay, and pound Aussie pays $7.40 per pip. See that value of 1 pip, Andre?
Yeah, I see. $7.40 a pip.
Right.
Okay.
$7.40. Yeah. So now let's go take a look at euro pound, and I'll drop the link in the chat. By the way, this is a very handy site and I do a lot of stuff off of it. And I'm using the American 50 to 1. My account with this company is at 300 to 1. 1 U.S. Volume, 1 lot, U.S. currency, and you see that this is paying $15 a pip.
You know what? You know what, Lou? Instead of putting volume, put 100, right? Then that'll give you the
No, it would
value.
be 10. It would be 10 in volume.
Yeah, 10.
Make it 1 standard lot.
Yeah.
But the reason they do this, and I have the whole calculator broken down here like this, because I have, I think I mentioned last week, I opened up a whole bunch of $1,000 accounts, and some of them I lost track of, and I found one the other day. And I want to take it and run it on a spreadsheet and make it a class project. So I have to get, I had to get all this stuff in order. But anyway, but this is how you know how much per pip. And let me just put the link in the chat here, by the way, because it's a handy thing to have. And you can go in and send. Yeah, you can go in and do your math and all that. All right. So that, it's one tool that I use that I find very, very handy. And it also tells you the margin requirement, which is very, very important. So if I want to trade one standard lot of euro pound, it's going to cost me $2,000. So if I have a $5,000 account, that $2,000 goes to the side, and it leaves me roughly $3,000 afloat. You got that?
Uh-huh.
So yes, that's kind of a cool tool. All right, and now I can close this. Okay. And let's go back to the 5 minute. All right, let me go back to the original part of the exercise just so I can explain what we will be doing. Now, all of these pairs have all blown out their range with the exception of the Euro CAD and the Pound CAD. All right, so you see yesterday was 148 for the Pound CAD, and today we're at 129, which is about at its edge. But here with Euro CAD, we're only half of yesterday's range, so we have some more room here. You follow me? So if I were looking to trade a pair and stay with the trend, this one would give us the best looking opportunity because here there's clearly some room left. There's about 40 pips left here to move. You follow me? And this was a great setup that we didn't catch right there. All right. So now price is below the 89 and below the 18. And we've got, some reasonable room to the bottom. I didn't catch this, but I'm not worried about that. I don't want to make that the project for the day. But I want you to see the thinking that we're going to be using. All right, so this would have been a nice entry here. Let me just see if we would have had a decent 1 minute entry off of this green candle. Let's go down here to the 1 minute. And did we get a 1 minute pullback? Yeah, the 1 minute entry would have been on this red candle short right in here. It could have been this one also, but we'd have to see that in a live environment. So the open of this red candle would have been our short, and that's 8 pips so far. Now the other thing I'm going to do is use my 18 as a guide for exiting the trades. All right, to stay in the trades longer. What we did last time, we would, basically shooting for 1%, $50 or 5 pips a day, that sort of thing. And so this time we're going to go for a little bit more. So I'm just showing you a couple of things that we'll be doing that will be a little bit different because we'll be looking at more pairs. So now what I want to do is ideally find the best looking pair that makes the most sense. All right. Where are we here? Okay. Now, even though this is, we're well below the 89 and we're sloping down here on the 18 because we've blown out these ranges, there is a tendency for price to want to pull back, as you can see. Let's squeeze this in a bit. Not always a guarantee, but that's how I would always look at it because the market usually gives some back. And I usually target this 50% area. But this really just blew everything out so bad, I might just target the 38 and grab something up there if I get the right kind of signal. Okay? And from here to the 38 is a decent 100 pips. Now, it won't happen in 1 or 2 candles, obviously, so if we get this trade, it would take a while for it to unfold. And our entry, if I wanted to take a long trade right now, would have to be above this 89. You got me? Because right now, if these candles remain as they are, we're toying around with no man's land. Okay, we've closed above the 18 down here, and usually if you get a good close above the 18, it wants to head back to the 89. But because of such a dramatic move, could be a little bit different today. But that would be my thinking. That would be the only way I'd want to take a long is once we get to this 89, and then I'll look for a long. All right.
Yeah, after a drop like that, it could just consolidate and then go lower, couldn't it?
Absolutely could. Sure. Sure. So now to go short, now that you mentioned that, so to go short, what I would prefer to see, and again, if I'm doing an 1889, I would like to see these candles get off of this 18, because see all of these last 10 or 12 candles, they've all touched the 89. Nothing's been able to pull away from it. So what I would like to see, ideally for a short, I'd like to see something like this. Candles get away from the 18, come back to it, and then I'll take a short. I'll look for a trend line. But while they're all touching, I could end up taking a short right now, and it could just go right back up in here, back up into this little area.
Yeah.
You got me? So to go short, what I want to see is I want to see these candles get away from the 18 and then come back. You follow me? And then I can look for a trend line trade short. So again, to go long, first we got to get to the 89. All right, and let's say it doesn't happen until we get to the 23 level. From here to here is still 50, still a respectable 50 pips, and still a respectable 100 pips. So even if I have to wait for this journey, it's a 40 pip journey back there, I still got a shot at a decent reward. But right now, this whole thing is flat. And if you remember the crosshair, if I put my crosshair on this moving average, you see that's about 430, I would say, by a clock face. That's a nice strong trend. If I put my crosshair right here, that's basically 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, yeah.
That's no trend whatsoever. And all the candles are touching that 18, all of them. So I'll, pass on this one for the moment. And pretty much the same thing with, well, not quite with the Euro Aussie. Now, see, the Euro Aussie, we had the candles got away from the 18. Let's open this up. The candles got away from the 18 and gave us a bit of a trade. The only thing I'm not thrilled about is that we damn near doubled yesterday's, we did double yesterday's range.
Yeah.
All right. So again, for me to go long, I need to see it get up at this 89 first. All right. And then to go short, if I get a close below this level here, but below this lowest low, I'll take a shot short. All right, but until it closes below there, all we have is a wedge. Because remember, if you can't make a new high, okay, we didn't make a new high, and we didn't make a new low here. And when you can't make a new high, you can't make a new low, essentially what you create is a wedge. That's a sloppy wedge, but you get the idea. So that's what we're going to be looking for. We're going to be looking to trade the best looking chart. And there are times when they'll all actually look good depending on price action and all that. But you need to have a place where you put your foot down and say, okay, I'm not moving until I see this set of circumstances. And this may give us that close below here, the way it's looking. Okay, so not much here. This is worth a shot. Short. I'm not going to take it, but this would be worth it. We've had a pullback and a touch right at the 18. So this looks like it would be a decent, and this is, no, I don't want to trade it on this account. I didn't turn my other stuff on yet. But you see the thinking now. Now we're below this low. All right, so that'd be worth a shot. And let's see where the other low would be beyond this. Let's go out to a 30. And we got nothing there. Let's go out. So we're down here. I could see this lone soldier here being a reasonable target. Right down here. All right. Now we're 1, 2, 3, 4 candles deep in this. All right. But this would be a reasonable target. And it could go considerably lower. But again, you got to have that line in the sand. This is what I need to see to take a long or a short. That would be my game plan. Now the stock market just opened, by the way. It's 9:30, so we may see another push around here.
Yeah, so far it looks like continuation.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely does. If we go out to a 1 hour, you see we had this price trap in here. And if we measured this price trap and the close below it, we've got a, I'll take the smaller of the two, about a 30, another possibly 30 to 60 pip drop.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a difference of about 4 on your currency strength meter as well. So,
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's another good point. I didn't look at that yet. And this is Euro Aussie. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So that's another thing to look at. It's just that you can look at the candle action and tell that these are relatively slow moves.
yeah.
All right. But that's what we're going to be looking at. Now, the other thing that I want to do is I want to go here, and I want to do the oh, don't tell me I didn't set up the oh, fractal breakout. There we are. Okay. Let's set up the fractals. I want to set up another one with the fractals, you know, so we can look at both systems. And set this one up on fractals. All right, and let's make all of these, make them all 15-minute charts for the moment. And just squeeze them in a bit. Got a piece of software I got to get from, I probably have it already, that allows me to change the chart. The one click, all of the charts change, which is a handy tool.
Is that a script?
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I think there is a script that does that. I think I've seen it somewhere on Forex Factory.
Yeah, like I just drag, if I make this like a euro dollar, they all change to euro dollar. So I don't have to do it individually. And it keeps its time frame reference. Okay, these are all different charts here. So this should be a, let's go euro yen on this. Euro yen, and this should be a 1. Oh, that was funny. And this should be the 15, and this should be a 30.
You're leaving out the 5 then, Lou, yeah?
Oh, 1 by 15. Yeah, no, you're correct.
Yeah.
5, and then this will be a 15. Okay, so this is kind of what we're looking at here is a possible short. Everybody,
on all 3.
right? Because all 3 of them are below the 18 moving average. Okay, candles are below the 18 on all 3. So we're looking for a break of this low or a break of this point right here on the 1-minute chart.
Yep.
As a short trade.
Yeah.
All right, which looks like it makes sense. And on the aggressive entry, we'd be in this already.
Yep.
And our stop I would like to put it out near the nearest swing high. That's only 4 pips here.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up a little higher. I prefer 10, which is way up there, but it's a 1-minute chart, so
Might as well go to that top fractal from that point.
yeah. So those will be the 2 scenarios we'll look at during the week. All right, and I'll be trading a half a lot and 1 standard lot. And our goal is to get 50 pips, so we get back that 50 pips from the daily trades. And the other thing we'll do is we will look for daily trades with the correct rules, by the way. I was looking for something for somebody and found a whole bunch of good stuff on my other hard drives. Oh, and it's behind here. I can't get it at the moment. But on the daily trades, let me just make the center one a daily. The correct way to do the dailies is to always look for the inside bar, which is this one. And we were just taking every one, placing a trade on every one, and we weren't following up properly. But had we done just only the inside bars, our results would be dramatically better. So we'd be looking at this trade, this entry long, no inside bar here. When you have this entry long right here, any of these guys as entry shorts, any of these as entry shorts. And when you have like 15, 20 pairs, you're likely to get something almost every day. So there'll be more trade opportunities than you think. And again, you see with the flat market, all of these candles right now are touching this 18. And I like to see price get away from the 18 usually. All right, so those will be the two things that we're going to do this week. We're going to continue to look at our longer term trades, and we're going to look at the, oh, I need to save this as a profile. That's the other thing. Profiles, save as, and this is fractals. There are a couple of different fractal breakout systems. Default. Wait a minute. Did I just, was I talking and not looking at the profiles? I don't see one that says fractals here.
First one is default, always.
Enter new profile name. Okay, that time it worked. Okay. That will make it easier to get back to. All right, and then Control F5. This, I think, is my original. So the power pairs right now are the Euro Aussie, Euro CAD, Euro New Zealand, Pound Aussie, Pound CAD, Pound New Zealand, and Pound Yen are the biggest movers right now. And this profile is 1889. Profile, save as. Okay. So now let me make sure this is working right. Fractals. There we go. And now file. Profiles 1889. Okay, we're good. We're good all the way. And this is all set up properly. All right, so I'm still waiting for, there's nothing here to really wait for until we get up near this 89 or get a close below here, which we traded below it, but you see we didn't close below, so that becomes a dominant low, a dominant close rather. All right, any questions on anything, any thoughts? Let me see what he wants. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I'm reading Skype at the same time. This looks like a decent trade here also, but again, we're still packed up on this 18.
Yeah, and look at the current day's range compared to the previous ones.
Yeah,
Huge.
absolutely. Yeah, we just
Three times.
Tripled it.
Woof.
Ah, doo-doo. That's my technical term. But I was waiting on this, and well, I was like 90 places at one time yesterday, so. Okay, any thoughts or any questions? That's going to be our game plan. We're going to go a half lot or a standard lot, depending on the quality of the trade. We're going to be looking to get 50 pips out of this. We might get it in 1 day. We might get it in 3 days, you know, depending on, you know, how the charts play out. We're going to stick with the power pairs at the moment, which are the Euro and the Pound, and the crosses are the Aussie, CAD, and New Zealand on all of them, and with the one exception of the Pound Yen. And we could throw Euro Yen in there also, but that's what we're looking at. And we'll still scan for dailies, and we'll go for it. So if there are any questions, I got some of it back, by the way. I posted a picture, because sometimes I trade after we're done, and after I do my household stuff, I come back and look for trades. Usually around 11, 12 o'clock, there's usually a decent move because of London closing. And I got 25 pips on one last week, but I need to do that same thing here live with the group so you can see everything. Okay, let me just tell this guy. Okay, so if there aren't any other questions or thoughts, this is what we're going to be doing this week, and we will pick this up again tomorrow. Also, I would like to do a London session. I know that may not be convenient for everybody, but we'll pick a day where we all get together, or at least attempt to get together during London, because I'd like to catch a couple of these larger moves with everybody also. All right, so if there's a particular day of the week, let me know that, and we'll try to make that happen. So I am going to say so long for now. Got a few things I have to get to, and we'll be back here tomorrow, 8:30, ready to go.
Very good. The
Yep.
music is in your Skype.
Oh, good. I'll look for it. Yeah, that was cool. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Okay, so I'll see everybody tomorrow, and we know what we're doing. We've got our game plan. We know what we're looking for as far as pips. We know which pairs we're going to be trading, and we know which two systems we're going to be trading. All right, so 90% of the work is done. So it's just a matter of sitting on your hands and waiting for the right setups. And we'll start up tomorrow. All right, guys?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, be well. Talk to you soon.
Thanks a lot, Lou.
Yep.
Right.
Bye now.